Hello again, this is Phil from Dragoon Games with another tutorial video for you. Today we're going to talk about the Firearms classes, and there's only 3 of them, so this will be a pretty quick video, but there's a lot to talk about in regards to what firearm troops do, how to get them, etc., etc. So, and again, thank you so much for following our game's development. We love you, we appreciate your support and your feedback and everything else. So, one thing to note is both the fighter tree and the archer tree, they can upgrade to, oh, you know what I need to do? Actually, and we'll keep this in the video. I need to get the technology. Otherwise, I won't be able to upgrade to them. So we have to get this technology, the gunsmithing, so that unlocks the actual ability to upgrade to those firearms classes. Going back into our class change system here. Okay. So we will upgrade to crossbowman. Actually, it doesn't really matter. I mean, you can upgrade to soldier if you want to. Let's just do that. Just to show you that any one of these tier 2 classes, so there's no tree, there's no class tree, there's no class path to get to gunner, dragoon, or siege cannon. Dragoon is different, actually, because dragoon is a cavalry. You need to have cavalry experience for that. But anyone can become a siege cannon, anyone can become a gunner. That said, they have to be a master of their tier 2 class, whichever one it is, because they're all tier 3 classes. So we're going to do that. We're going to make him the master of the soldier class. So now he can become a gunner or a siege cannon. Let's find a cavalry troop. Actually, let's just make him a cavalry troop. And okay, we're gonna make him a cavalier, and we're gonna make him the master cavalier. So now he has all 3 firearms classes. So we can get this all done in one hit. Starting with the gunner. So you can see here there is a resource that is required for all of these firearms classes, and that is that red rock there. It's called pyrosite. And I know that gunpowder is much simpler to develop in real life, but in this fantasy world, firearms are very, very new technology, and the ability to create them is limited by this very rare, very precious resource called pyrosite. If you find any, buy it, get your hands on it. So, what's the first thing we notice about the gunner? The weapon power is just astonishingly high. It's huge. That said, you're not using the strength stat anymore. Obviously, you're using the power of the gun, not the muscles. And so, what's going on is you're going to have one attack. There's a dual caps going that gives them 2 attacks per round on offense, which is absolutely crushing. But just the one attack, you would think, oh, that's not very good. Trust me when I tell you, they will melt enemies if you give them in mass, just boom, 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 and then stuff just disappears. It's pretty devastating. As you can see, that weapon upgrade is massive. Plus, not only is the weapon upgrade massive, but it bypasses 75% of the target's armor. So you're going up against late game heavy cavalry, heavy infantry units that are rocking huge armor numbers, like 60, 70 armor. These guys don't even care. Boom, take that. I laugh at your armor. Okay, and so there's obviously downsides. We're downgrading in HP and armor because this is a heavy cavalry, so obviously we're going to get less HP and armor. Strength doesn't really matter with these guys. And again, like I explained in the archery video, your magic goes to 0 with any of the industrial classes, but being your crossbowmen and firemen or firearms. Because, that there's some trade-off. It's the magic versus technology and industry meta. Also, if you do not have the breech-loading rifle technology, and I know that that's not quite historically accurate because whatever, these things didn't really become widespread until the mid-1800s, but I know. So this will prevent you from storms and blizzards shutting down your gunpowder units. So normally without this tech, you can't actually do anything because you're getting bogged down by the weather. Going back in, so where was I? Was I with this guy? Yes, I was. Dragoon. And so again, anyone can become a gunner and a siege cannon, but only the cavalry can become a dragoon. I kind of see it as, you need to be able to ride a horse and shoot at the same time. That's a lot of skill involved. I don't know if I could ever learn how to do that. Sounds pretty hard. So they need 2 iron, 1 horse, and 1 pyrosite to become a dragoon. Really, I would say this is the highest tech, the apex of technology in terms of this entire game is the dragoon. So he is a mobile unit because he's cavalry. He has the exact same incredible attack power that the gunner has. Same thing where he only has one shot unless you have the dual capstone tech. But if you get the advanced mobile warfare tech, holy mackerel. The dragoon is just, it's hilarious. It's silly. So the advanced mobile warfare tech makes him a light cavalry. So he becomes just the same as a horse bow or a scout or a hussar in that he's ultra fast, ultra evadey, and can ambush. And then on top of that, if you get musketeering, he goes twice on offense. So, boy, that just sounds scary. Super scary to go up against. Is a mass dragoon squad that has both advanced mobile warfare and musketeering. Oh, it is good night, sir. You are donezo. Okay, so don't even try it. That said, they are still going to be vulnerable on defense. So just watch it. If an enemy has that mobile warfare tech, they're going to be moving a lot of tiles, and so just really watch out for that dragoon. That said, they're kind of rare to find in the game, so it's not some sort of game-breaking mechanic. But you can mass them, and boy, I've seen, if you get that high tech, I just can't emphasize how devastating that will possibly be. They will just crush everything, and it'll be so fun. It'll be so fun. All right, enough gushing about the dragoon. Let's talk about the siege cannon. Boy, I thought this would be a short video, but it's not. Siege cannon is very different from the first two firearms. Okay, there's a few very important things that are happening here. Okay, so first of all, you do cost 3 iron. You do cost a horse. Where's the horse, Phil? Okay, it's because it's a horse-driven piece of gear. So for that reason, you don't slow down the squad, right? Okay, that said, weapon power, very, very high. Obviously, you can imagine the cannon is just going to be doing tons of damage. Couple very important things to hear with the cannon. You do not counterattack as a cannon. And so if you're being attacked or if you're attacking an enemy that has a siege cannon, they're just going to sit there and take a beating, right? So, that's kind of the price you pay for the absolutely devastating offensive power that these guys have. Plus, they can shoot from 2 tiles away and up to 3 tiles with technology on upgrades. That said, also, they do have splash damage, and so they will hit their primary target, maybe. But here's the thing about the cavalry shot, or the cannon shot. They don't need to hit. They can just hit the ground. So your skill doesn't really matter with a cannon. They'll just shoot an explosion into the middle of the enemy squad, and it will result in a splash damage effect that hits everything, no matter what their skill level is. That said, you can have a glancing blow against a cannon shot if your skill level is high enough, but there is no such thing as an evade because I guess it's just kind of like the shrapnel, the shockwave of the cannon shot will hurt anything, absolutely anything that it hits. And it also still ignores 75% of armor. So, there are some units in this game that are just absolute powerhouse, like Diana, I would say. And your protagonist is also heavily armored. Zelos, one of the unique units to start with, is heavily armored. And a lot of these units, they just absolutely crush anything they go up against because of their, unique value. Boy, do they fall fast to mass cannons. It's just, you thought you were cool, now you're not. Squish. You just get blown up. So, that's kind of the power of the technology side of your troops. Okay. Got a little bit more excited than I thought, but that's cool because these classes are really cool, really fun, just expensive and high tech. So you can't expect to be able to mass them in the early game, but you certainly can in the late game. And you can also purchase them as a mercenary. They come with their own equipment, so that's really cool if that happens. Okay, that's all on the firearms. Take care, and thank you so much. And stay tuned for more tutorial videos from me.